I am live. I am still using, oh, well, actually, I don't even have anything like that anyway in the first place. So, obviously, from the quality, you can already tell this is the YouTube app because I feel like it's actually relatively good at least keeping the connection going because I pretty much no longer have reception back here. And the regular whatever IRL streamer or whatever the hell that app was, oh, still is. It pretty much it drops connection entirely. At this point, you may be hearing some lawns being mowed around me. It is weekend, and that is all you hear on weekends. Quite a normal thing. Yeah, long time no see, I think. I don't know, when was the last time I went live like this? I think over a month ago, right? Feels like at least half a year. But no, I think it was just a month or something. Month and something. Well, I just kind of want to leave it here. I don't know, just like a few things to announce, I suppose. For, well, you may ask, well, what do you mean? If I were to say, for the foreseeable future, blah, 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 okay, what do you mean by the foreseeable future? Yeah, what do you mean? Next couple of months, next couple of years? Somewhere in between. Somewhere in between those, I will most likely not be producing anything. I highly doubt I will be going live. So let's cover it maybe one by one, and then I can explain maybe the reason, kind of like in the process of listing things that will not be happening, or maybe just in the end. Yeah, for purposes of just like going live and whatnot, making podcasts or just like general, streams with dogs and video games, I probably not going to do that very often. I have realized long ago, and I thought that maybe I could just brute force my way through it, but it's like a really bad idea to even use my channel in the first place, because my channel has already been all over the place. It had podcasts, it had some material related to language learning, it had some material related to video games, and it had outright music. Not even just like music discussion or anything like that, music essays on music, but literally just raw music uploaded to it. So it's all over the place. YouTube has absolutely no use for channels like that. So your videos basically never get anywhere. Well, if it was 100% music oriented channel, it wouldn't have gotten anywhere either. But stuff that talks about video games or just general kind of vlogging, so to speak, could theoretically, if you keep doing it, you could theoretically grow at least a little bit at a time. Not though if you don't have a very, very tight focus for your channel. If you're just a channel of somebody who rants on camera, on some topics that could be relatively of relative interest, to groups of people. I don't know if we're talking life advice or just bitching about the economy, bitching about the job market, applying for jobs in 2026 is humiliation ritual. Duh. Dating in 2026 is a humiliation ritual. Yeah, like you could potentially grow a channel like that at least a little bit, but if you do that, and simultaneously you have not even like you're covering completely different topics, because what I just said could theoretically be just covered by one channel, because you'd think, there's a huge overlap between audiences who may be interested in hearing some venting, on those things. But if you literally have like completely different, even genres of content, right? Like you're literally uploading music to your channel. You're uploading whatever reviews of video games, and this this is how your live streams look, right? So yeah, YouTube doesn't quite know what to do with it. You would quite literally be 500 times better off just starting a completely new channel, just like created yesterday, and start uploading any of those types of videos, or I mean, you just call them content. Just content on the internet recently pretty much means slop. It doesn't need to be slop, right? Let's just call it content in its original meaning. But yeah, like combining this whole thing in just one channel just absolutely doesn't work. It would work for somebody who has otherwise notoriety from other fields. Like if I were like a famous musician in the first place, right? And then people would find my channel for everything, as I call it, right? They would find my channel for everything, and they could absolutely be like, oh, hey, this is what this person does. I'm just going to follow them for them, right? Not for their type of content. But if you are a recognized nobody, you are notorious for absolutely nothing, you need the power of the algorithm on your side. And the only reason the algorithm would even look at you, well, one of the things the algorithm needs, it needs a very clear message. It needs a remember how everybody wanted to be like a content creator, a YouTuber, a streamer, a AVGN like internet personality. People wanted to be internet famous. People wanted to be internet celebrities. Now people want to have personal brands. No. You don't like actually make good content or anything like that. You're a person with a personal brand. So you do need that though. Like for real. And that brand needs to be very, very specialized in something. Even if it's a broad thing, like, I don't know, say philosophy, and you're literally talking about all kinds of schools of all possible schools of philosophies. Well, philosophy is still, a focus. When you're talking about music, entertainment in general, pop culture, specifically video games, you make podcasts, you make live streams that have nothing to do with any of that. It's literally just you saying nothing for over an hour sometimes while the dog is on the screen walking, peeing and pooping. No, YouTube doesn't know what to do with it. So, like, I don't even know what I would do with this channel. At one point, I have deleted pretty much everything off of this channel, and for multiple reasons, by the way. Not just that I tried to kind of like optimize the branding of the channel. There were other reasons for that. I'm not going to go into detail right now. But there were... Ooh, that was loud. At one point, all this channel had was just music, and I think eventually I actually put some effort into making like YouTube, essay type videos. And I left those too as well. And I really shouldn't have done that. I should have just created a different channel. And the thing is, by now that channel probably would have had the same thing this channel has, like, like 100 subs or something. What I can tell you though, doing what I've been doing, having even 100 subs is actually a big deal, because a channel like mine should realistically have none, because YouTube absolutely hates this stuff. So, yeah, I will probably, well, obviously, I will keep this channel going because it's not like I have 10 others, ready to go. So for now, I'm definitely keeping this channel. But in the future, if I wanna rant about a video game, or if I wanna, well, that same channel could potentially make a live stream, yeah. But um, if I wanna if I wanna rant about a video game, it needs to be on a separate channel. If I wanna keep doing podcasts, podcast needs to be on a different channel. I used to like really not understand why, even back in the day. Remember how every single YouTuber had multiple channels? One channel's for vlogging, one channel for gaming, one channel for old school YouTube content that people actually care about, coming from them. And then they would like create a whole new channel just for a podcast, and I could never understand, like, you're making one podcast a week anyway. Why cannot you upload it to your main channel? And I think back in the day, actually, they just honestly could have done that. It was just out of the sheer frustration that YouTube did not have the ability for you to have, like, quote unquote, multiple projects on the same channel, right? So there would be multiple feeds for people to watch. I mean, there are playlists, of course, but playlists are kind of a pain in the ass to operate for both the creator and the viewer. And yeah, like if you wanted to make like a podcast, you wanted just to have like a separate tab, not just videos, playlists, liked videos, whatever, right? You just wanted to have a completely separate tab. Here's the tab for the podcast, right? And it goes into that feed, and maybe people can even be specifically subscribed just to that, so that if they can still be subscribed to you, to your channel, because you are the creator that they're subscribed to, but you wouldn't have to manage multiple channels. And ultimately, YouTube did move to a system where under one Google account, you can have, I think, unlimited amount of channels. Yeah, so that's nice. That's cool. I don't think being associated with any other, like, kind of like genre of content through like the other channels of your Google account, I don't think that affects the algorithm in the slightest. And like nobody can even look it up if multiple completely different channels, for example, tied to the same Google account. People cannot look it up unless you disclose it in your other channels, information of your channel, that you can do whatever you want. You can create a completely new channel on the same Google account, and the system will not treat it as having any affiliation to the previous thing. And well, unless you had like complete restrictions from running channels, perhaps, maybe. But like even if you were doing something controversial and you are shadow banned, I don't think YouTube would actually care about your new channel on the same Google account. Well, unless you got stricken down for something like really egregious, like, politics and stuff. But even then, like, honestly, I don't think YouTube cares. So, yeah, but people still, people wanted to have like these media empires, where you have like a gaming channel, you have a podcast channel, and they would like to have it all under the same like brand, like under the same main channel, just in different tabs. I'm pretty sure they would go for that because that's where my mind goes automatically, you know. Because even if you assume that, oh, there are so many people who follow you anyway, you have fame regardless of whether, like, you can create a completely new channel, people would go there, even if this one closed. But like, no, I remember when H3H3, right? When before he lost his mind, when Ethan was actually a likable human being, I think his main channel was already, I think, multiple million subs by the time he started the podcast. And when he started the podcast, like, I don't know what the numbers are right now because his main channel basically, is not using his main channel, hasn't used his main channel for years, more or less, except for that failed attempt. What did he make a video on Hassan or iDubbbz or something like that? At one point, yeah. But otherwise, he's no longer a YouTuber, he's a podcaster. So at this point, his podcast channel may actually be even bigger than his old YouTube channel. But for years, I don't know, he had like a few mil on his old YouTube channel, and his podcast only had like 100K-ish subscribers. So, like, you do lose a lot by just abandoning a channel like that. Could we assume that like over 1 million people, over 1 million subs on his old original YouTube channel were just completely dead subscribers? Well, it's possible, but I don't know, dude. That's a lot. And like typically you'd think those people probably would be interested in a podcast as well. Maybe people just weren't interested in podcasts that much, and the whole thing only like really blew up after COVID. That's also possible. I don't know. What I do know though, that back in the day, if I were a big creator, I would have been really annoyed by having to make a second channel. But right now, you literally do need to make a second channel for even a slightly different kind of content. Because realistically, like essays about something and podcasts, that's actually relatively similar type of content, honestly. I mean, unless you can read the script, but you absolutely cannot talk at all off the cuff, so your podcast is just trash. Well, then yeah, but most people who can actually talk at least a little bit, they usually, it's not that different from just hearing them talk about something and like hearing them read their own essay. It's usually not that much difference between those types of things. But yeah, still, it's a different type of content. So yeah, no, absolutely. You need to have a separate channel these days. Another thing though, that people usually get famous for doing one thing before they branch out doing another. So would I be shooting myself in the foot by completely abandoning this channel for like podcasts? I don't know, perhaps. But I do know definitely it's probably going to be more difficult at the start, because I will create a new channel and I will immediately face all kinds of limitations of a new channel. Yeah, that's true. But there has been precedences, like we don't know if those people actually used the promotion feature, or if somebody actually they may have even bought it themselves outright. But there have been videos, like remember that famous video like with the bruised banana in the thumbnail, about like how like gaming is dying, video games are trash right now. So that video went absolutely viral, and it was, I think, on a completely fresh channel, and the second video by that dude. The only other video he did was like 10 minutes, and then I think he didn't do anything on that channel at all for, I think, over a year or something, or just a few months. I don't know, doesn't matter. But his next video was this big like YouTube rant for over 30 minutes, I believe, maybe 40-ish, even over. And yeah, that video absolutely blew up. That dude literally gathered like 50K subscribers basically overnight. And from what I've seen, he hasn't capitalized on it, actually. I think he made a few more videos since then, but he even made a video at one point right after the big success of that viral one, saying, I'm actually not sure what to do. I don't have plans on being a YouTuber. So that's interesting. But yeah, what I'm just saying is, I would make anything even remotely as entertaining in conventional sense as that video. But there's still a bit of hope that if you make a completely new channel, you clearly declare that this channel is going to be about gaming slop, YouTube will actually put you somewhere. you can actually reach some audience, at least over time. For a channel like like this current channel, it's hopeless. It's just for real, it will never work. I may still keep it around for music, because music, one way or the other, nobody will ever, listen to your music online anyway, unless you promote it. So for music, I may as well just keep it. Everything else, I don't know. Would I delete it and then re-upload it to a different channel? Honestly, I would probably, over time at least, get about the same amount of views, if not more, by doing so. If I just deleted everything but music from here, and, all the stuff of any value at all, I just upload it to a different channel. Especially if I did it over time and not on one huge bulk. When you upload like 10 videos at the same time, YouTube absolutely has no idea what to do with those. But if you do it over time, yeah, I think, a couple of my videos, they went, by my standards, relatively okay. A couple thousand views here and there. Even a couple hundred views is way better than 0, which is what you get when the algorithm doesn't pick you up, because otherwise there's absolutely no discoverability for content right now. Even if you search certain videos, you don't get them, because you first, get videos by the creators who are in the algorithm. So yeah, if I keep doing any kind of content, quote unquote, if I keep doing any kind of slop, I would probably do it on different channels. Well, what about music though? Well, here's the thing. Pul, do you want to do another round? Because I've been ranting for 22 minutes and I haven't gotten to the point yet. Or we can just stand here. Come on. Come on. Let's go for another round. Invade someone's property, maybe? For a bit of sniffing. Do some sniffing around. Ooh, a squirrel. Well, you wouldn't see it. But there was one. Come on, Pul. Let's go. My goodness. Are you really going to fight me? Well, I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to be breaking your neck. Pul. No, seriously. Come on. Let's go. Let's go for another round. Come on. Come on. Let's go for another round. Come on. Okay. This works too. Yeah, guys, I've been doing music for 35 years, and well, not literally 30. I've been alive for 35 years. I've been doing music for like 20 out of those 35. It's if I were ever noticed by anyone, it would have happened by now. Yeah, I kind of switched genres about a year ago, from doing something still conventionally recognized, but of course maybe too much in my style, plus not approved by any gatekeeper, so like completely pointless in terms of any kind of career. And I just went full sound art, essentially. Not literal just sound art, not like electroacoustic, acousmatic, sound like academic almost style sound art. Not that, much closer to, and here's a pretty good precedence of actually someone doing rather similar to what I am doing on a few points of comparison. There are a few intersections between what I am doing, arguably what I've been doing all along, and the success and the overall style of someone like Caterina Barbieri. She does what she essentially does, like ritual type electronica, experimental electronica, if you will. And she does it using nothing, pretty much, but analog synthesizers, specifically modular synthesizers. And her shtick is that most of her music is composed of arpeggios. So it's Not something I am famous for. It's not really my style of music. It's not what I'm doing, I mean. I like it. It's very interesting. It's a bit basic sometimes. Sometimes the arpeggios, do too much work. Too many things are happening in kind of like in the dimension of like, hey, it's just the whole thing is just one big polyphonic arpeggio, but the actual sound design is not that impressive a lot of the time. And then she does something that does not rely on any kind of arpeggio at all, and it's actually really interesting sound art. I don't know. What I'm saying is that I do analog only, and it's essentially sound art, what I've been doing recently too. So I know for a fact that it can work. The problem though, of course, the art that you make, the content that you make actually has no influence on whether you actually make it in the entertainment industry or not. It's all about other factors. It's a little bit about timing. It's a tiny bit about your production quality and how much money you put into promoting yourself. Until we're talking about literal hundreds of thousands of dollars, it doesn't matter if you put like $1,000 into promoting one video. Okay, cool. You're gonna exchange. You will basically buy like 10,000 views or maybe 100K views, from YouTube for $1,000. Okay, cool. Like what then? You'll get 100 subs from that, and okay, what then, right? So unless you literally have like millions or at least hundreds of thousands of dollars to promote your content online, promotion doesn't matter all that much. What matters, of course, is who you know, and who cares about making you a star, how much they care, whether you have a person like that and how much they care, well, of course, I'm talking about somebody who actually does that for a living. You need to know gatekeepers. If you don't know gatekeepers, you're not going to go anywhere. Because if Katerina Barbieri were doing if she kept doing what, well, we can actually spin it either way. If she were doing what I am doing, it would have been considered the most masterful and ingenious content ever, And if she were in my place and do what she is doing, it would have been considered, it's some abstract nobody just playing with the synthesizers, thinking he's an auteur or something. Cringe. Like, those things get interpreted and reinterpreted. That's a tiny stink bug. Just based on the status that you get from whoever approved you, for doing what you're trying to do. Somebody needs to vouch for you. And I've never had people like that. I'm not saying I've been gatekept out of artistic success or anything like that. I'm saying that nearly all artists are. And I am no exception. See, I'm still playing up the victim, but I'm not making the case for myself of being a snowflake. Yes, I do put real effort into my art. Absolutely. Are there people who are also nobodies, and there's a reason why they are nobodies? They put no effort, their content is shit? Yes. And it's the other way around as well. There are talented people who do put effort in, and they were just lucky to actually be able to capitalize on it because they knew the right people at one point or the other in their life. Potentially they were even born into the right connections. And there are people with no talent who don't like effort, and they still get to pretty much the same point simply because they were born into the whole thing. So I'm not saying that successful people are all necessarily hacks. I'm saying that they are successful not for their talent. Sometimes their talent is just a really nice bonus to the deal. But all things considered, it's really not necessary, because the people who are actually in the position of, allowing people to become stars, so to speak, in one way or the other, in one uh, well, I don't know, form or the other, of one size or the other. Sorry, I'm being attacked here by all kinds of insects. Point, could we actually go back now? I'm sorry, I don't think I want to be here. Heine, come on, let's go back. It's kind of summer already. Yeah, but the general state of things, right, is actually rather interesting because Katerina Barbieri, Aisha Devi, and people like that are kind of opening a little bit the door for people like myself. I mean, Aisha Devi less so because her music is still very club-ish. It's like, I don't know if you know, but in electronic music, until, well, now pretty much, you could only do like wavetable synthesizers. You couldn't do analog. Only Depeche Mode could do analog synthesizers. Everyone else had to do, god damn it, insects. Everyone else had to do, either samples like Omnisphere or Wavetable, Serum, Anna, you name it. And you couldn't do analog, because it was just considered in very poor taste. Too old school, which is not a problem for Depeche Mode, of course. Why? Well, because they are Depeche Mode. It doesn't, like, you think you can do that? No, you cannot. Again, gatekeeping a little bit there. But now I think people genuinely don't care. And finally, by the way, people like myself here, I mean, right now there is a much larger interest in modular synthesis, and maybe we could also thank COVID for that a little bit. There's a much huger interest from the general public in modular synthesis and analog synthesis in general. All the slop, like hip hop music, also kind of helped with that a little bit, because I do think those people went, to quote George Lucas, too far in a few places. And I think like audience is actually starting to push back a little bit at this point. Yeah. So theoretically, yeah, not everything is so sad. But well, the thing is that I did try to shop around for somebody who could, well, put me at least in put me in front of at least some kind of audience. So people in A&R and just labels in general. And of course the response you get is that, oh no, sorry, we're not looking for new artists right now. Well, you do, but you look for artists who are already successful. So yeah, you need to make your career first. You either need somebody who can just like, oh, your uncle Goldberg, from the Goldberg Talent Agency, can actually make you a star if you want. Oh, thanks so much, Mom. I would love to. You can either do that, or you can, one way or the other, find some money, make yourself a star, and then labels would be interested in you. But labels are no longer interested at all, and it's been like that pretty much forever. Labels are not interested at all in finding undiscovered talent and putting them in front of their audience and whatever. Because it's like, no, we're not gonna do that. It's just, it doesn't work for us. Too much risk, and the market is fake. Tastes are fake. Everything is based on fads, So it's like, we're not even gonna bother judging whether your music is good or not, because we're not in the business for judging whether the music is good or not. We can judge whether you are successful or not by the amount of views you get, by how many followers you have on Instagram. That we can judge. Whether your music is actually good, let alone what can we make out of you. No label is interested in that. That's just not something they are in the business of judging. And hardly anyone is. The audience, your potential audience out there, you could say, is kind of in the business for that, but you need to reach them out. You need to reach them on your own somehow, dude. you know. And obviously, I'm not in a position where I can, because you know what's stopping me, right? So yeah, none of what I've done recently musically has been of any interest to anyone whose opinion could matter in terms of actually, helping me to keep doing what I'm doing. When it comes to video games, the same thing. Honestly, there are so many adventure games here and there. It's ridiculous. But nope, not a single publisher is interested. Even a little bit. Publishers don't even know what they want anymore. Do they want woke slop? Do they want extraction shooters? Do they want battle royale still? They don't even know anymore what they want. They are still under the impression that, oh, that little tiny obscure game, the Talos Principle, like The Witness, Outer Wilds. Yeah. Nah, dude, those were all, yeah, sure, there are like dozens of exceptions to the rule that succeed because it's a quality game, plus it has a publisher who did a little bit of PR. Yeah, that's like not a viable genre to think about. No, still. We only need something that can either be, do you have any kind of social messaging, and already a strong following based on like a political type of platform of yours, political brand of yours or something? Oh no? Well then why are we talking to you? So you either need to be famous in one way or the other first, or you just, you need to come to them with a giant project that is a battle royale or something, and then maybe they can even talk to you. And in the process of negotiations, maybe you can negotiate it into being an actual video game. But if you just come to them with a brilliant idea, I'm not interested, because they cannot judge it. They don't even know what Outer Wilds is. Literally one of the most successful and best reviewed video games of all time happened to be a pure old school almost. I mean, it's in structure, it's a bit modern, of course, but at the end of the day, what is Outer Wilds? It's an adventure game. You walk places, you explore places, you literally have no fucking idea what's going on, where to go, and what to do. So you have to figure out on your own where to go, what to do, what things mean, how they interconnect. And yeah, it's rather old school adventure type of approach, to a video game. And yep, nope. Never heard of that. Another adventure game? They cannot judge it. You cannot sell it to them. It would legitimately sell. You could sell. Could you not sell Cloudum? Come on. Multiple people have approached me and said, dude, Cloudum looks fucking insane. And I'm like, yeah, right? Because I put effort in it. But we've already covered the first step of actually attracting audience. The game looks interesting and unique. Genre-wise, content-wise, the game very well aligns with a crap ton of titles released in the last 10 years that were extremely successful. The Witness, Outer Wilds. I don't know if you heard of that little game that's been literally the talk of the town for the fucking century almost. Well, not century, the last half a century. People wouldn't shut up about it, called Myst. Yeah. No, The Witness, Outer Wilds, Myst. The Talos Principle, what is that? So I cannot sell my video game either. As for music, I've already done enough content, so that if anyone ever wants to review my career in music and decide whether they want to sponsor my next record, there is already enough content for them to judge. And to keep doing what I'm doing, well, honestly, since the big Leaf turn, right, that I've performed about a year ago, I could potentially keep going in that direction and be like, okay, well, let's explore that scene. But I already... from my years of experience, I already kind of know how to explore scenes. And dug around, and already was rejected from most places multiple times. I did multiple rounds of, okay, anyone I found in the last week has basically rejected me, so who else can I find? I did multiple rounds, okay? Okay. So yeah, dude, uh, it's it's not something I can afford to work on right now. Not for the foreseeable future. The novel was, of course, a big experiment. I am not gonna lie. I, of course, exaggerated a little bit when I was pitching that novel, including to MFA programs. That, you know, please don't pay too much attention to my background. I'm actually a writer now. I've exaggerated a little bit, of course, because although it is true that I have achieved almost nothing in music throughout my life, I have achieved almost nothing in game design. I mean, like commercially and notoriety wise. Of course, I've made a few things, quite a few, but I was only able to put those things in front of like 10 people, and all those 10 people said, "Whoa, dude, this is insane," and that's it. It never went beyond that. But in terms of, yeah, notoriety, achieved pretty much nothing. So it's true that, you know, I pretty much just felt like, well, you know, maybe I could just write something. But what I exaggerated, of course, was just the fact that, well, if I'm gonna write something and nobody reads it, would I keep writing? Because, dude, I've already been through that with video games and with music. I just cannot keep doing it, you know. If you make art and your art isn't reviewed, you don't get any feedback, you have no audience, you make it for no one, then it's just masturbation. It's just a diary. And diary is talking to oneself. And I've been talking to myself my entire life. And, you know, lately I've been feeling like maybe I should stop. But yeah, the writing thing obviously didn't take off particularly. I'm not going to keep working on anything that I have not explained already and published. May write a few short things eventually, but right now I don't know when it would happen, honestly. Because, well, I couldn't get uh, into an MA program here, which is ironic because I'm literally the best possible fit for it. So academically, no one's interested in what I know about music or literature for that matter either. So, okay, that's nice to know. So, I'm just gonna go and get a bachelor. You know, another one. And yeah, man. I do not expect myself to have too much time for podcasts or anything like that, especially building a completely new podcast from scratch, because I will also be working full time, you know, to pay for the bachelor. And if it sounds extreme and like nothing I am usually up to at all, well, it's because everything I'm up to usually has just, you know, it amounted to nothing. So yeah, this channel will most likely not be touched. I don't know, maybe I will periodically. I wouldn't be surprised if I did something tomorrow on this channel. But there will definitely be no more serious music except for maybe a few bits and pieces if I just like come up on with something randomly at one point. Yeah, sure, maybe. But nothing majorly musical. No, nothing I have spent, you know, like 3 months nonstop. You know, like 90 days of nonstop work. Like no, no serious big musical projects. With game development, also, I am keeping Claudum, oh, Cloudum, Claudum. I'm keeping it on pause, and It's fully playable and even finishable, by the way. If it's unfinishable due to some kind of glitch or bug or something I've overlooked, uh, do let me know. I'll correct it. Unfortunately, the last build, the big rebuild of Cloudum that I've done, I haven't tested it properly, of course, because I was just soul dead at that point when I was finishing it. But yeah, nothing super major musically. Cloudum is still on pause. Across Zero, the novel, book one is fully readable, but it's like book one of the Fellowship of the Ring. It just sets things up like it hardly the proper story and the themes don't even properly start. So it's a it's a bit of a failure really in that regard. Yeah, should have been a short story or a collection of short stories. Yeah, and that's pretty much what I've been doing. As for quote unquote content, do you like my Crocs, by the way? As for content, yeah, like I explained, full time student basically, expedited, I would call it, expedited student, because I don't want this thing to stretch over, 4 years or even three. So pretty much full time, even against what maybe the school would suggest, plus full time job. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have much energy or time or literally mental bandwidth for any kind of podcasts, any kind of game reviews, or just gaming in general. So if I have anything to report of any interest, yeah, sure, I'll do it on this channel. But if I ever keep doing the content thing, if I can have a quote unquote return to being a content creator, I'll probably, any kind of serious attempt at that, I'm gonna have to split it in different channels and just leaving this for purely music. Because making a separate channel for music is pointless anyway. Like no music channel would take off anyway of mine. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. Feel free to contact me. Patreon, contact form. Comments could be open here. I don't know. Does YouTube automatically close comments unless you unlock them at the end of streams that done through the app? I think it does. It definitely locks. It puts every single stream VOD it puts on private and turn it off. But yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail. I'm usually not a huge fan of comments. I'm not gonna go into why. If you don't know, it's just not worth explaining. And I also, you never know if you're talking to a bot or not, especially these days. You can get a comment that actually reads like something, oh, this looks like a human, but I'm not sure what this comment wants from me, or if it's trying to diss me, or if it's trying to compliment me. It's like the whole thing with, oh, dude, you sound like such and such. Congratulations. Like, why are you congratulating me on some, like, what is that? Like, do you like it, or do you, like, why would you congratulate someone on releasing a piece of music? I've been like very confused by that thing, for example. And also I feel like, if any of what I do has, connected to you in any way, probably whatever you'd want to tell me, would be more appropriate to share in private rather than just a public comment. I don't know. That's just how I usually do things. I hate just like reaching out to people publicly on Twitter or in comments. Hey, dude, nice content. Do you want to collab? Like, that's just cringe. Like, at that point, if somebody reached out like that to me, I would have just felt cringy even like collabing with that person in the future, because like, what the hell are you doing? It's literally the same as Eminem is leaving the parlor where he just played the show, and you fight through the crowd, you fight through the security, and you run up to him and be like, yo, dude, do you want to make a thing together? Like what is he supposed to tell you? you know And even if you don't do that, again, right? Like, imagine if he actually read your fan mail, and that's what your fan mail was about. Hey, dude, I make music too. Do you want to make music together? What is he supposed to tell? Like, what? Like, come on, dude, right? I mean, that's more of a private type of communication, of course, but it is still like ridiculous in that, like, if we're trying to set up something together, right? Like, why are we like, why do you do it in public? You can contact me privately just fine. Like, why are we in private making plans for taking over the world, so to speak? You know, uh, it's just, I don't know. I don't understand the need for that. If we can just talk privately, but maybe that's just my complexes or whatever. That's my brain demons. Yes. So yeah, guys. Bye bye.